If you're one of the estimated 50% of women that don't tolerate synthetic hormones, I'm going to outline for you what you can do about it and how you can improve your body's tolerance and metabolism of these hormones. So, first thing I'd like to say is that we actually don't know the exact amount or percentage of women that don't tolerate these hormones, but we know it's high. We know that 50% of women that start HRT give up after 1 to 2 years because of the side effects. And we're always hearing about stories of women that don't tolerate either the contraceptive pill. The amount of stories we hear about intrauterine devices is huge. There's so much going on, but there's no real research, which is crazy considering how common these drugs are. And there's so many women that suffer that can't use synthetic hormones because they don't tolerate these hormones. A whole range of symptoms develop, from fluid retention to headaches, to complete disruption of their cycles, to fatigue, to not sleeping well. So we know there's a problem, but no one really talking about why and what you can do about it. So the first thing to understand, we have two lots of hormones that you may be exposed to. So we have exogenous hormones. So that's your contraceptive synthetic hormones. We have HRT. So hormones that you're bringing in from outside, you're deliberately putting into your body. Then you have your endogenous hormones, which are the hormones that your body is producing, right? And a lot of women don't tolerate their own hormones as well. And we're going to talk about that. And then you've got environmental mimics that you may be exposed to as well, things like from plastics and petroleum products and so forth. So women, unfortunately, are getting lots of different sources of these hormones, and hormones are really powerful influences on your health and well-being. So when we ingest any form of hormone, or the hormones that are within our body, so the exogenous and the endogenous hormones, our body needs to do something with them. They have an action on the body, and then the body is designed to break those hormones down, excrete it into the digestive tract, and then you get rid of those hormones. Now, the problem occurs twofold. So first is if your body is not breaking these hormones down. So whether it's synthetic hormones or your own hormones in your body, if your liver is not processing those hormones, they don't get broken down properly. So what happens is they then get secreted into the digestive system. The body will then reabsorb them, and you can have a 2, 3, 4-fold effect of the same hormone. And that's a big problem, because if you're taking, for example, the contraceptive pill and you're not breaking that down, then that hormone will recirculate many times, and particularly estrogens and progesterones as well. They're stimulatory hormones, so they cause an overgrowth of tissues and can cause all sorts of hormonal symptoms, cause heavy periods, bloating, pain, and so forth. So the liver, we really got to look and focus on improving liver function for both our own internal hormones. And, if you've never taken synthetic hormones before, but you still have problems with your periods, your liver is really, really vital in this whole process. And there's 3 main pathways that the liver uses to break down these hormones. So we've got conjugation, we've got methylation, and we've got sulfonation. Now, these are just different pathways that the liver uses to break these hormones down, but many women can be deficient in these pathways. And there's actually 50% of people have a genetic mutation called MTHFR, which is where you don't methylate in the liver, and it's a detox pathway. So hormones are very commonly broken down through this MTHFR pathway. And if you have that genetic predisposition where it doesn't work very well, then that's a problem. So we have to improve liver function. The second part is your digestive system. Now, in your digestive system, there's actually part of our microbiome, so there's beneficial bacteria called an estrobiome. It's a difficult one to say, but there's a whole range of bacteria in your digestive system that's there to break down hormones, particularly estrogen. And if they're not popular or predominant in your digestive tract, then you're not going to break those hormones down. So you've got 2 parts. The liver breaking those hormones down, but then your digestive system has to further process them and excrete them. Now, if your digestive system's not working well, or you're constipated and you're not clearing your bowels properly, that recirculation is much more likely to happen. And this is what leads to, you've probably heard of conditions called estrogen dominance, and that predominantly it can occur earlier in age, but during perimenopause, as your progesterone levels drop, we get an excess of estrogen. That's really where we start to see the weight gain and the migraine headaches, fluid retention, because estrogen is, again, a stimulatory hormone. So we need to improve liver function. We need to improve digestive function. For liver function, we focus on, obviously, staying away from alcohol. Sugar is a big problem because it creates non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So we're destroying our liver through too much sugar, and our diets are just, there's so many hidden sugars within our diet. And over ultra-processed foods all damage the liver, and we need to try and repair our liver. So Happy Liver, one of our products, works really, really well. It's gentle and it just stimulates those pathways to start working, helps a lot with that bloating, but it breaks those hormones, starts to that first process of breaking the hormones down into the digestive tract. Then the digestive tract, we need to focus on our diet. So clean, predominantly plant-based foods. Doesn't have to be vegetarian, but the more plants you have, and they say 30 plants in a week, that helps with that fiber that we need to bind to those hormones and excrete them. You can also add things like soaked chia seeds and basil seeds, linseed. These are really good to keep you regular, to bind to those hormones and excrete them out of your system, particularly flaxseed. There's so many benefits in that. You just need to soak that, and then that'll help move all those hormones through your system. So that combination of Happy Liver, improving your bowel function is just critical. And if you're more than likely, if you're not tolerating hormones, 100% your liver's not working as well as it should be. And think to yourself, how healthy is my digestive tract? And, you know, because of from very young age, we're exposed to a lot of antibiotics. Our diets are hyper-processed, so there's no fiber in there. We need to include more fermented foods, more live foods. One of our products, Happy Greens or Turmeric, has live probiotics in there. Now, probiotics are good, but dried powdered probiotics have very little influence. Studies show that fermented foods and live bacteria are much better. But the key is these plant foods and these plant fibers to help that digestive system clear and work through efficiently. So I hope that helps. And so you can, if you absolutely have to take synthetic hormones, make sure you're having a good quality liver supplement like Happy Liver. Make sure your digestive system is working well. Unfortunately, for many women, they just simply cannot take synthetic hormones. And for many women, a big part of their hormonal imbalance, it's all starting with the liver and your digestive system. So focus on that area and you're going to see great results. If you've got any questions, we have our online communities with nearly 200,000 women in it. We have a full practitioner team that you can ask questions at any point. But I just thought I'd share that information because it's such a big issue, and hopefully we can help you navigate this field of hormones, which can be really complex, frustrating, and it can really impact on your health on many, many levels.